Do you want your school to join an exclusive community of innovative school leaders who share insights and best practices and engage in local, national, or global Microsoft events? Then we'd like to invite you to join the Microsoft Showcase School program. In this video, we will show you what is a Microsoft Showcase School and what are the steps to follow for your school to become a Microsoft Showcase School. Microsoft Showcase Schools are a global community of schools engaged in digital transformation to improve teaching and learning. Showcase Schools create immersive and inclusive experiences that inspire lifelong learning, stimulating development of essential life skills so students are empowered to achieve more. Microsoft is collaborating with schools worldwide to demonstrate what's possible to transform learning and deliver sustained success. Building on Microsoft's decades of work with policymakers, school leaders, and educators around the world, Microsoft supports schools in the Showcase School program with resources and ideas to turn their vision into reality. Microsoft's Showcase Schools have the opportunity to engage with Microsoft and like-minded school leaders around the world to deepen and expand education transformation using the Education Transformation Framework. What are the benefits of joining the Microsoft Showcase Schools program? Inside the program, you can share insights, best practices, and engage in local or global Microsoft events. Enjoy Microsoft partner offers and product support, digital transformation guidance, and access to resources and latest research. Help shape the future of Microsoft education products and programs, contribute to the vision of schools and students around the world, and elevate your school's visibility and role as a leader. What are the criteria for becoming a Showcase School? First, the school demonstrates thought leadership in at least one area of educational transformation as outlined in the Microsoft K-12 Education Transformation Framework. This K-12 ETF or Education Transformation Framework will be discussed later on in the video. Second, the school demonstrates innovative use of technology using Microsoft solutions to drive positive impact and student success with 21st century skills. Third criteria is that the school leader is an innovator as evidenced through the actions and attitudes of a growth mindset and commitment to the K-12 ETF journey. Next, the school leader empowers educators and students to innovate and exercise a growth mindset. And lastly, the school leader and educators are learning leaders who drive efforts to connect with educators locally and globally and share best practices. Here is the criteria in a nutshell. You must have the commitment to transform, the school's leadership vision and commitment to embark on a multi-year journey guided by ETF. You must have the culture of learning and growth. 60% of educators and leaders have an MEC profile. At least 25% of educators are MIEs and certified MCE, and 3% of educators are MIE experts. Third, you must have a personalized learning and inclusion, meeting every student's needs and focusing on realizing everyone's potential. You must have future-ready skills. You must be actively working on developing students' future-ready skills. Number 5, data should drive your decisions. Insights provide guidance for education improvements and visibility into progress. And the last but not the least is the Microsoft Solutions impact. Learning impact can be correlated to usage of MSFT solutions. Teams usage 60%, 90% of students and teachers use Office 365 exclusively, and 60% of all devices are Windows 10. So how do you join the Microsoft Showcase Schools program? Step number 1. Familiarize yourself with the Microsoft K-12 Education Transformation Framework from the Microsoft Education website. Read about the ETF and take the 4 courses there. The Microsoft K-12 Education Transformation Framework is a holistic and effective guide for education leaders to navigate the complexity of transformation, envision what's possible, and develop a strategy to achieve it. Let's watch this video to know more about the K-12 ETF.
The way students engage their world, the way they learn and create and share has changed. Education leaders and educators worldwide need the ability to plan strategically so they can meet the needs of learners entering the digital economy. Recognizing this challenge, Microsoft developed an education transformation framework to guide leaders through the complexity of transformation.
The Education Transformation Framework is a tool for you to guide your journey and your aspiration going forward. We've learned a lot at Microsoft on how we can best bring change to schools. It starts with creating a foundation of a plan and being purposeful about every decision that's made across the back office, instruction, the use of space, and creating a digital environment that brings all of it together. Technology is an important component of the ETF, but we know it starts with people.
The Education Transformation Framework identifies 4 interconnected pillars. With leadership and policy, the focus is on creating an intentional culture of innovation and learning, with shared goals that engage the community and motivate stakeholders to plan and lead change. Teaching and learning aims to help all learners achieve their potential by taking a student-centered approach to curriculum, assessments, devices, and spaces. Intelligent Environments has the goal of developing safe and secure on-site and online environments and leveraging data analytics to optimize student outcomes. Finally, Student and School Success prioritizes equity and inclusion and builds capacity through professional development that ensures all students are successfully prepared for the future.
The best leaders in education right now are thinking hard about change, not staying behind of what we were in the past, but really leaping forward into a future world of education that's purposeful.
The ETF, it helps by making a connection between the abstract vision and concrete matters. For example, the building and IT environment for laptops or in the buildings, chairs, tables, everything is connected to the same goals.
Framework is a very effective way of simply providing a lens for you to look at each of the many individual decisions that you need to make on a daily basis. And looking through that lens, you're able to always make sure that your investments are pointed in a common direction, which gives you the best opportunity to be successful.
I think it's a brilliant framework to engage with because all schools are unique, of course, and the framework is very flexible and you can adapt it to your setting relatively straightforwardly. It's also a very sustainable program, which is very important to our work.
I would look at this framework as the really practical guide to policymakers to look at the whole, whether you have content in place, whether you have software and technologies in place to support the curriculum development, and whether you have innovative people in place that drive this transformation.
To learn more and get started, go to aka.ms/ejourney.
First, open a browser and go to education.microsoft.com. Once you are inside the site, click on Programs, which is the 3rd tab at the top portion of the page. Under Programs, click on Showcase School Program. You will then see the Showcase School Program. You can read about the Showcase School Program and the details that you need to know. Scroll down and click on Microsoft K-12 Education Transformation Framework. Once you click the link, you'll be routed to the ETF or Education Transformation Framework created by Microsoft. Here, get to know the transformation framework, Scroll down and click on Read the Quick Start Guide. Inside this document, you'll be able to see what Microsoft Education Transformation Framework is about. You will see the 4 pillars mentioned in the video earlier: leadership and policy, teaching and learning, intelligent environments, student and school success. This document contains a brief overview of the 4 pillars mentioned earlier for the Education Transformation Framework. However, you will need to take the 4 courses associated with each pillar to comprehensively know the details of each pillar. To take the courses, go back to the website for the K-12 Education Transformation Framework. Scroll down and find the first pillar, Leadership and Policy. Click on Learn More. Once you're inside Leadership and Policy, read the description and the details that you need. First, click on Learn More under Quick Start Guide. This is a simple introduction to the pillar Leadership and Policy. Make sure you read everything to understand what this pillar means and what you need to do as a school leader. After reading the Quick Start Guide, go to Staff of 2030. This is a study by the Economist of pre-service and early career teachers to gauge their views, opinions, predictions on the future of teaching. Click on Read the white paper. Fill in the details needed. Once done, just check these 2 check boxes for more information and click on Get This Study. Once you click that, you'll be able to see a button that says Download the Study. You can read the study by clicking on Download the Study, or you can get the copy from your email. This report is an Economist Intelligence Unit report sponsored by Microsoft, and it explores how teaching is set to change by 2030, drawing on a survey of early career and student teachers in primary and secondary schools, an expert interview panel, and an academic literature review. This covers curriculum reform, teaching practices, technology, and the workplace environment. We highly suggest that you dedicate time into reading this report or this research, as it will help you understand what you need for the future and how to become a future-ready staff, teaching 21st century skills to your students in order for them to be successful in the future. After reading the white paper, you will see customer success stories. Browse through Microsoft K-12 ETF customer stories to read the most successful leadership and policy case studies. Click on See It in Action, and you'll be able to see stories from schools all around the world. Get inspired by these stories using Microsoft technology to create immersive teaching and learning experiences. Once you're done, go back to the previous page and go to the next portion, Leadership and Policy Assessment. This is very important. This course focuses on leadership and policy design for school leaders and is aimed at building system-wide leadership to drive change. Click on Take the Course, and you will see a Start Course button. Before starting the course, check out the information that you need to understand or know. You will be able to see that this course is a beginner course. The duration is 2 hours, and here you'll see the description of the course, including the learning objectives. Once you're done with the course, you will get a badge called Leadership and Policy. Click on Start Course if you're ready to take it. Once you're inside the course, you'll see reading materials, including the Class of 2030 white paper that you were able to read earlier. There is also a video you need to watch, and several links you need to go to. Once you're done with this module, click on Next, and you'll be routed to Module 2. Read the reading material, and notice that there are reflection questions for every module. These are meant to be application questions. Make sure you follow the steps indicated or give answers to the questions posted. You are also encouraged to write down your notes and answers to your Education Transformation Framework notebook. You can use OneNote or even a physical notebook for your ETF notebook. But we highly suggest you have a digital notebook for this. Click on Next to go to the next module. You will be routed to Module 3. Read the materials and make sure you click on the links posted. There are reflection questions again. After you do the steps needed, click on Next, and you'll be routed to the last module, module number 4. Make sure you read the reading materials, watch the videos, and understand everything that you need to understand inside this module. After doing the reflection questions, go to the quiz, and you'll be routed to the quiz with 5 questions. Take note that you need at least 80% to pass the course. Let's take this quiz as an example. Read the question. Beyond the needs of the workforce, society as a whole will demand increased blank and blank from its citizens. You will see that the answer is wrong, and the second choice is the right answer. Click on Next. Click on Submit Answer when you are sure of your answer, and click on Next to go to the next question. If you're sure of your answer again, click on Submit Answer. Next question. And click on Submit Answer when you are ready. We are now on the last question. Many parents and educators do not fully understand which technologies hold the most promise for developing social and emotional skills, or how best to use those technologies. For example, your choice is true. Click on Submit Answer, and finally click on Quiz Results. In this scenario, you have only scored 60%, which means you did not pass the quiz. Now, what do you need to do in order to get the course badge? You can click back to Overview. Clicking back to Overview will take you again to Module 1, and you can read again and until Module 4. You can also directly retake the quiz. In this scenario, we will retake the quiz. Remember the mistakes you did earlier and continue answering the quiz. Once you're done, click on Quiz Results. You will see that you passed the course. You will see your score here, the badge, and you can click on Back to Overview. Once you click on Back to Overview, you'll see that the course has been completed. Because you have already completed this course, you can now move on to the next pillar. Go back to the original site and go to Teaching and Learning, the second pillar you need to take. Scroll down to understand what teaching and learning is all about. Similar to leadership and policy, there is a quick start guide. All you have to do is click on Let's Get Started. There is another white paper under Teaching and Learning Resources, Student-Centered Learning Research. Click on the white paper. There is also another Customer Success Stories. Click on See It in Action to browse through Microsoft K-12 ETF customer stories to read the most successful leadership and policy case studies. Go back to the site for the ETF. Go to Intelligent Environments to learn more about the pillar and take the course there. Once you're done, go to the last pillar, Student and School Success. Inside Student and School Success, you can take the course and read all the materials related to this pillar. Once you're done with all the 4 pillars, it's time for you to move to the next step. Step number 2. Review the Showcase School rubric to identify where your school is on the transformation journey and the areas in which you'd like your school to grow. The Showcase School program rubric is available in the Educator Center. Go back to Programs and Showcase School Program. Scroll down and you'll see Review the Showcase School rubric to identify where your school is on the transformation journey. Click on the link and you will be routed to a PDF document of the rubric. This is the rubric you need to understand. It has the metrics and the 4 areas, whether you are leading, advancing, developing, or initiating. Understand each metric and find out where your school is in the transformation journey. For example, the first metric says the school demonstrates thought leadership in building a school-wide vision as the starting place for holistic digital transformation using Microsoft's Education Transformation Framework. So you can check if the descriptors match what you are currently doing in the school. For example, if you have developed a shared vision and plan for holistic transformation that incorporates all 4 pillars of the ETF, then you are leading. Do the same thing for advancing, developing, or initiating. Check what you are currently doing in your school to see where you fall. Step number 3. Learn about the Showcase School Program engagement process and find out if you have completed all the steps prior to nomination. After reviewing the rubric for the Showcase School Program, go back to the Educator Center where you found Showcase School Program under Programs tab. Scroll to the bottom and you'll see the Showcase School Program engagement process. Click on the link and you will be routed to a PDF that states the engagement process that you need to go through. Building your vision, a guided transformation for your yet-to-be-built school if your school is still in the process of being built. However, if you have an existing school, go to the second page. This is the engagement process for the School Showcase program. First, self-nominate or the Showcase Incubator. Get an approval. Design your transformation plan. Fourth, reach advanced levels of transformation maturity. the fifth step is to be ready to become a showcase school. And finally, get awarded as a Microsoft Showcase School. Within the third to fifth step, Microsoft gives you an option to consult partners. They can help you envision, strategize, and empower you in making your engagement process more efficient. Step number 4. Prepare a 2-minute video that tells the story through a single, clear example of how you as the school leader have led your school's innovation in one of the following areas: vision for change, educator and leader professional development, improvement process and data-driven decisions, personalized learning and well-being, and future-ready skills. Begin your sway or video with your school's name, city, and country. Your name and role should also be visible at the start of the presentation. Clearly respond to the following prompts. Number 1. This is what we think about education transformation today. Number 2. This is what we hope to learn about education transformation when we engage with Microsoft. Number 3. This is what we are keeping in mind as we take these next steps. Number 4. These are our current blockers or challenges. And lastly, close your sway or video with your school name, city, and country, as well as your name and role visible. Let's watch a sample video submission.
I'm Michelle Zimmerman, head of schools at Renton Prep in Renton, Washington, just outside of Seattle. Before we started working with Microsoft, our focus was on education from an education perspective. After we started working with Microsoft, looking at the business model and how people interact in different types of jobs changed the focus of how we prepared learners for the future and careers in the world outside. Next up for Renton Prep is looking at our 10-year vision and the possibility of building an incubator space that goes beyond the connections we already have with the community. We're able to talk right now with the developers at Microsoft and marketing teams and look at artists and all these different fascinating occupation roles that inspire kids. But we want to develop it even more solidly so it has research university connections. Those relationships are already being built and are pretty solid right now, but some of the obstacles we're running into as we're keeping these things in mind include space and finances to support some of these additional roles and positions, and the mindsets of the teachers and researchers who are working in a collaborative space across very different disciplines. Some of the things we're keeping in mind are how we can continue to build these relationships, tell the story, and get the kids involved so their voice is central to the purpose. The work we're doing at Renton Prep is disruptive. That means there are challenges, there are roadblocks along the way, and it's hard work. But the reward of being part of a showcase school community, knowing that other educators and leaders are going through the same thing, makes it worth it because we can tackle some of those challenges together and find solutions we wouldn't have alone. I'm Michelle Zimmerman, and we're proud to be a Microsoft Showcase School and part of that global community, all the way from Renton, Washington.
Step number 5. Finally, fill out a self-nomination for your school in this link: https://microsoftedu.eventcore.com/auth/create. This link is also available through another way. We'll show you the simpler way to access this link. The nomination form link is also available in the Showcase School program site under the Programs tab in the Educator Center. Once you click on Showcase School program, scroll down where you found the ETFs link, the rubric link, and the engagement process link. There's a link that's called Fill Out a Self-Nomination for Your School. Click on it. Once you click the link, you'll be routed to the Showcase School program self-nomination for Microsoft educators and school leaders. Scroll down to the bottom. You can also read everything to know more about the program. But once you are ready to fill in the nomination, click on Start here. You'll be taken into a page where you are asked to key in your details. Key in your school email and your password. You will need to enter your password twice. Click on Submit. Once you click on Submit, you'll be routed to the self-nomination form, where you are asked to key in your contact information. Put in your first name and your last name, as well as your email address. Also include your current role in the school. For example, if you are the head of the school, click on Head of School. Key in your organization name or your school name. Under My School is part of the, either you put district, a Ministry of Education, or if you have a big organization, put in the name of the organization. For example, I will put Ministry of Education. Put in your website. Key in your street address. Key in your country, which is the United Arab Emirates, and the zip can be left blank. Check all the check boxes. Once you're done, click on Continue. After clicking Continue, you will see a message about the Self-Nomination Hub. The message says, please note, event emails will be sent to the email address you provided during your registration for yourself or your group members. If you are not receiving communications, check your junk, spam, or clutter to confirm your email settings have not redirected the emails. In addition, you need to add Microsoft Edu at eventcore.com to your safe sender list to ensure that you receive future communications for this event. Again, make sure you check your email for that self-nomination email sent to you by Microsoft. Afterwards, scroll down to see your account ID. You can refer to this account ID for any communication you make with Microsoft Edu regarding your self-nomination for your school. The last thing you need to do is to check that email and follow the steps that Microsoft gives you on that email. There you have it. Those are the 5 steps to nominate your school for the Microsoft Showcase Schools program. So what are you waiting for? Nominate your school now. If you have any questions, please email us at info@cts.ae and we'll be happy to assist you.